Hello, it's me. I am standing here at the part in my Riverbend farm walk where I go from the nature trail, which is back there, to the grassy paths, which are, I will turn around here. And I very specifically wanted to do a video update for you today from this spot because to me, God, I'm gonna be emotional, you guys, I'm sorry. Because to me, this is where I feel like is the most on this trail. Like you're going into Narnia, basically. Like this must be the feeling of what it's like to walk into Narnia. And I've got some really cool things to share, and I just continually am having the feeling that I'm walking into Narnia. And those were along with the James Herriot books. All Creatures Great and Small being the first one of those that I started reading when I was like 10 years old, which is really why I wanted to walk the coast to coast path, the path that I'm going to walk next May across the north of England. James Herriot lived along that path and or very close to it. And so that's part of the reason I wanted to walk it. And Narnia were also, the books about Narnia, the C.S. Lewis Chronicles of Narnia were also like super in my just, I loved and adored them. And so I wanted to bring you here to this spot, which feels like, to me, like stepping into Narnia. There has been so much good since my last update, which also that one was really good. That was the one where I had just been walking with Jay and we got lost and then we found our way out. And that was the one where, if you remember, I shared that I'm trying to remember how I said it, that I was going to remember the lesson but forget the mistake. And so that's kind of how I've been living my life. And I wanted to share something, a different, like a bad habit that I've been realizing that I've still been in and I'm determined to get out of. And you've been helping me get out of it. So I'll share a little bit more about that today. So, okay, I last made a video just over a month ago. In that time, I co-hosted a virtual retreat in which I have to say were two of my favorite days in my entire life thus far, like favorite ski days, the births of my children, my wedding day. The virtual retreat was up there with that. I knew it was going to be amazing. I think what I did not take into account was who would participate. Like I knew the session leaders were amazing, and going into it, I knew that we were all going to do amazing things. But the people who came to participate blew my mind. I mean, many of you are watching, and that's also amazing. And you were just so incredible. And so that was awesome. And then I got a little virus, not COVID, before in the lead up to that. And then I didn't really take care of myself. So this tiny virus that went away within 2 or 3 days blew up into a sinus infection. And I did not take care of myself. I kept a full coaching schedule the following week. Ben and I went away. I wasn't contagious, which is in one sense fine for going away, but in the terms of not taking care of myself, not really good, right? So about 2 weeks after the retreat, I ended up on antibiotics, and I'm better now, but like, God, that was, I'll do that very differently after next year's virtual retreat. I promise you that. Ben and I went away. We went to Cape Cod, one of my favorite places in the entire world. And I'm just, you guys, I'm so much better now in terms of physical and mental health than I was the last time we went. So last time we went, I didn't go outside after dark except to go to, like, if we were going to go to a restaurant or to get takeout or something. This time, and I have to give Ben credit for this, a couple of weeks prior, he went on a fishing trip to the Cape, and he fished his way all the way down a beach called Coast Guard Beach. And when he came back, it was dark. So he was fishing his way back in the pitch dark. There wasn't even a moon. And so he was already very good at this when we went on our trip. And so we just went out after dark. And there was this one place, I'll share pictures of this if I think of it, if I remember. And I already have, but I'll share pictures of it again. there was this place where we were walking along on the beach, or I was walking along. He was fishing, so we were kind of separated, and I was on my own. And the moon was coming up and it was amazing. I mean, like already I was like, holy mackerel, I can't believe this incredible universe. I kept feeling like River from Firefly. If you've ever seen Firefly, there's one where River, to protect her, they put her in a spacesuit and they put her outside. And she's like looking up at the stars and she's in ecstasy. That is how I felt basically the whole time we were on the Cape, even though I was not feeling well. So we're out on the beach and there was this like sort of, I looked up at the dunes and there was this space where you could clearly walk up the dunes. Even though it was dark, I could see this little like divot. My hand is over here making little motions, but you can't see it because it's over there. And so I'm like, I wonder what's up there. I walk up and what I see is the most incredible exploding sunset over the marsh behind Nauset Light Beach. And I was just like, I guess this is why I'm here. It was incredible. And like the whole trip was like that. So on the Saturday of our trip, I think it was a Saturday, we walked about 6 miles. We hiked 4, and one of that, at least one of it, was in deep sand. So a year ago, there's no way I could have walked in deep sand. And I will tell you that the reason I could do it is because of the preparation for this trip across England. Like we are now breaking up the original scar tissue from my big, long tendon challenges that I got from the diverticulitis in 2011. Like, I never thought that it would be like this. Like, I never thought I'd be this healthy. My mind is blown. And I wanted to share one specific thing that I'm noticing, like, because I've been thinking about it in that everything is the places where I am feeling disturbed or upset, to me, they feel like real learning. They're no longer like, aw shucks, or like suck it up or anything like that. To me, they're opportunities for learning these days. When I'm in the right headspace, I guess I'm not always in the right headspace, but right now I am. And so I wanted to share an illustration of this is with socks. Socks and migraine medicine. So if you've been following me for a while, these are things that I've written about before. And I have always come from a place of real fear. I feel like that there are 2 places you can come from in this world. You can come from fear or you can come from love. And in terms of socks and migraine medicine, I have basically been coming from fear, especially in the pandemic. With the migraine medicine, what I've noticed or what I've learned is that my health insurance will allow only a certain amount of the effective migraine pills. And I'm always fearful of running out. And in the last month, as I mean, this is a bit of a longer story than I want to share here, but basically I was able to stockpile, I don't like that word, but I was given a bunch of samples from my neurologist, and I've now gone through quite a few of them, and I have almost none left. And I'm noticing that fear creeping in, and what I'm really focusing on is like, you know what, it's really okay. Like today I have migraine medicine. We cannot know the future anyway. And I'm really noticing this from in my heart that I'm coming from a place of love with migraine medicine. I'm not sure why, but I'll take it. And then with the socks, so for years I've been getting these incredible wool socks from, and they are merino wool. They are soft, they are warm. Even if they're soaking wet, they're still warm. They've been my ski socks for so long. They are 2 pairs for $8 from Ocean State Job Lot. I've been getting them for, I think, 8 or 9 years. And in the pandemic, I couldn't find them anymore. And like the ones that I had were getting holes, and like I'm frantically trying to find other. I've been having bad dreams about these socks, like running out of the socks. What am I going to do? Oh my God. And I found some like reasonable facsimiles that I was disappointed in, but that were not great. And then a couple of weeks ago, they're back at Ocean State Job Lot. And now I have like the cutest socks, and they fit just great, and they're warm, and they're merino wool, and they're like, they don't constrict around my ankles, and they're like amazing. And I still have the fear mindset about them. I have 10 new pairs of these socks, and I notice every time I put them on, I'm like, oh boy, these are not going to last. These are not right, because you can either wear socks and be comfortable and warm, or you can let them sit in your drawer where they will not be getting worn, but they will also not be, on your feet and keeping your feet happy. So like I'm working on it. It's funny, with the migraine medicine I'm good, but I'm not so good yet with the socks. And until today I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like I am feeling this real welling up inside of like happiness and joy. I have 10 new pairs of these socks. There are more in the store to get. I'm buying pairs to give away at this point because like these are the most incredible like gold socks. And here's why I'm crediting you. Because you guys. So my flight is fully funded thanks to you who have supported me in my GoFundMe. And up until last week, I didn't know if I was going to be able to do the trip in May of 2023 because I wasn't sure if I was going to have lodging. I had no idea that I was doing this to myself, but May is apparently the most popular month to do the coast-to-coast walk across the north of England. And also, it happens to coincide, I didn't realize this either, but it coincides with the coronation of King Charles. So there's a lot going on in England at that time. I was like, oh my, and also the British pound has decreased in value, which means that a lot of people are like, hey, let's go to England because like there's, you can get more for your dollar or more for your pound, I guess. And so my trip was maybe not happening in May. And on Monday, a week ago Monday, I got word that my trip is happening in May. And at the same time, they were like, so we will require the rest of your deposit, which was a very large amount of money that I was like, okay, awesome. And on Tuesday, I was given as a gift by my family that exact amount of money. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just not going to worry about this anymore. Like, the universe really wants me to go on this trip, and apparently it really wants me to go in May. And thank you for supporting me in that. I am speechless with it's so funny. I was saying to my son this morning, like, everywhere I look, the universe, and I use that term in a spiritual sense, really, in this moment, like, is showing me, like, here is a beautiful moment for you. Here is a beautiful place for you to rest your sensibilities. Here are the socks. Here's the migraine medicine. Here's the places for you to sleep on your trip. And here are the people who are making it possible. So thank you. Thank you. All right. I think I've talked long enough for today. I'm glad you got to come into Narnia with me. Here we are. I'm going to keep going on my walk, and I will, hopefully it won't be so long with another update. My training is going great. I hope your day is going great. And thanks again if you have, thanks for watching. If you want to support me, or if you even just want to read more about my story, I actually have a page on my website. It's klockculp.com/adventures. I'll put that link in the show notes where I'm posting all these videos. And there's a GoFundMe link there as well. So if you want to read more about my story and why I'm doing this, that would be amazing. And if you want to share it with a couple of friends, if you think they'd be inspired too, or would like to hear about my story, well, awesome. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I cannot wait to take you with me on this trip. I will talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.